Welcome to another episode of Haire, and stay tuned why being called beautiful every day distorts your brain. All right, welcome to another episode of Haire. We are on episode 7. I told y'all I'm working hard this week. We got 7 episodes back to back. Call it Drake. Anyways, or not. He's canceled. So basically today we're going to be talking about the brain waves, basically distorting your brain when you're being called beautiful your whole life. I have a cute little pie chart I made. Look at it. So this pie chart is pretty much just basically think of it as a table of contents that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to go in order, and then I'm going to do my full-on review of all parts of the brain that I feel like, just from my personal experience, just from watching as well, how I feel like encompasses each part. So number 1 is distrust. First things first, when you first things first, when you're an attractive person, you distrust everybody, because the level that people are willing, stay with me. The level that people are willing to, I want to say, keep a secret or go like the depths they don't care if you're the friend of a person, they don't care if you're the sister, you don't care if you're married, they don't care if you're in a relationship, they don't care about anything. Like if you're attractive, people will go far for you, okay? I have another thing too. You distrust your likability. Like, am I really funny? Am I really smart? Are they only watching me because I'm attractive to look at? Am I just, or I'm just attractive? Like that's all I bring to the table. I have on here too is that you're very distrustful of the world around you. Like, do I have all of these things because I'm attractive? Are people nice to me because I'm generally a good person? Are people just nice to me to get things out of me? Like, I feel like distrust overall, that aspect of it is just scary because like people already distrust the world. The world's pretty scary. Okay, not scare anybody, but so just imagine that being on almost steroids of like you're having a distrust of the world, because people literally will go far for an attractive person. You've seen Jail Bay. I did a whole thing about that in volume 1 of Pretty Privilege. And the levels that people are willing to go, and then also distrust is that, does this what if something happens to me? And that's later on into the pie chart. But like, what if something happens to my looks? Like, how do I know? How can I trust this person is still gonna really go through the trials and the roller coaster of life? Like, how do I know if this person's really with me? Also, distrust is like, how can I know that this person truly is like, if they actually love me or they really like me? Like, there's a lot of distrust there, and that can also spiral. So next one is perfectionism. As a content creator, you have a magnifying glass on your face. Like, I didn't even realize I had this many birthmarks. I didn't even realize my skin was uneven. I didn't realize my teeth weren't that white. But like, when you become a content creator, like, I even found myself fixing little things about myself. I could be open with y'all. I found little things like I got my teeth whitened professionally, and I still whiten them every day. I make sure my skin is top tier now. Like, I feel like there's like little things that you start picking. Like, you have a magnifying glass in your face. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have a magnifying glass in your face. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, like my hairline. I know my hairline was that thin. Let me fix that. I know I was I know I can't say that. My butt was flat. Like, let me go fix that. Like, you just start fixing little things. So that's how I can see how when you have pretty privilege, like, perfectionism can make you spiral out into ED, different eating disorders, or even other habits to make sure you stay skinny, like playing in the snow. And so I just really wanted y'all to not feel bad about wanting to be perfect or whatever. Because like I said, like there's a level that you have to kind of prove your beauty on a regular. Like, even with being a content creator, like, I know I just can't come on here, just woke up like this. Like, no, you don't want to see me just woke up like this. Okay. Like, it's not pretty. It's not ugly. I think it's cute, but like, it's not camera ready. And also, like, there is a level to perfection. I was like, you have to be beautiful, because then, like, if you're not perfectly smart, no one's gonna listen to you. Because it's just like, people literally will listen to you because you're good looking. I could literally sit there and say, yeah, psychology is a study of psychology, and people are like, oh my God, it's giving, if they're attracted to you. If they find you deemable attractiveness. Perfectionism also just your presentation has to be top tier. You just feel like you can't have an off day. You can't have a day where you're sick. You just can't have a day where you can just come on camera looking any type of way. But definitely perfectionism is a big chunk of that. So the next one is entitlement. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I first started Claire Haire, I thought I could come on here, be cute, and y'all was gonna give me 1,000,000 views, which y'all kind of did, but I didn't get the subscribers. And I truly feel like God humbled me at that, because I really thought I could come on here, be cute, tell 2 jokes, and I'm just like, the 1,000,000 subscribers, it's on its way. You know, like, you have to actually build something. You have to actually have commonality with your subscribers. You have to actually be a good person, kind of. Because, I mean, there's some villains that have millions. But you have to actually connect with your subscribers. You have to inspire them to want to, like, protect you. Inspire them to want to follow you. So that was definitely a humbling moment for me. And I know that sounds corny, but I do respect the journey, you know. But there's a lot of entitlement there, because I'm not trying to floss in myself, but there's been plenty of times where I've literally walked out of the house with no money, and I know I'm not gonna have to pay for anything, and it happens. It's real, and you just get so used to that level of entitlement, used to that level of attention. There is certain aspects of my life that are easier because I'm attractive, and I feel like that level of entitlement definitely goes to your head. Even the humblest, even those who practice humility, I can tell you this right now, if they're attractive, there's a level of ego there that really feels like, well, since I'm attractive, everybody deserves, like, I deserve, you know, like, I deserve this, that, and other. I'm entitled to this, that, and other. And then I also feel like it's also pressure as well. Like, when you have an entitlement, that you expect people to treat you a certain type of way. So when they don't, like, it's more like, some people, like, you can accept it, especially since me, I haven't benefited from pretty privilege all my life. So I'm so used to, like, that. But, you know, but I'm talking about people from birth, like, from cute baby, cute child, cute this, they're used to it. So I can see how that messed with their brain. Number 4, I have happiness. To quote Marilyn Monroe, being a beautiful woman is equivalent to being a rich man. And she's correct. There's been places that I've been able to walk in that I'm still, to this day, I'm just like, why am I in this place? Because it's one thing to be invited to the table, but I've been invited to the table. I've been invited to eat at the table as well. So being attractive, like, there's a lot of pros. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, like, be, like, you know, coy about, you know, I'm comfortable. Like, no, I'm going to tell, there's a lot of pros to being attractive. Like, I know there's certain things that I'm not going to have to work for. I know there's certain issues that I will never go through. And I feel like that's not an ego. I'm telling you how things are. I'm very factual in that aspect. But there are a lot of perks, and, like, that does lead to happiness. Like, people literally treat you like a celebrity. Like, you can't leave. Like, I can say, since I turned 25, I have yet to leave the house and not have somebody compliment me. I have yet to leave the house and not have something given to me for free. Access that makes no sense. But the only thing, the caveat to that, which I'll get to that in a little bit, is that you're so used to this attention that it can be tied to your happiness, which is very dangerous. And so another thing too is just that, like, I have on here, society just values you so much when you're attractive. Like, your value is higher. Like, your social IQ, as they would say, is higher. Especially nowadays, I feel like it's increasing. Because back in the day, if you're cute, that's nice, but what else? You know, nowadays it's just like, literally, you can literally sit there and say, we're not gonna say this person's name allegedly, you can literally sit there and see someone who is just attractive and that's it, and they're on the top charts. They're on top charts. They're selling albums. They're in rooms that don't make any sense why they're in those rooms, because of how they look like. So the last part of this, I would say, I left it for last, is fear. There's a big fear with being attractive, like aging, because there's only certain amount of time that you can truly benefit from pretty privilege. And, you know, people are very kind and very polite about, oh, my mom's 50 years old and she's still pulling them. She's 60 years old. She's still pulling them. I was just like, she's pulling them. But let's put her in a room with someone who's in their 20s. It's not the same. And I can even say that too, like, even with me, like, with as attractive as I know I am, I know you put me next to a 21-year-old, like they're gonna have more pretty privilege than me just from youth alone. Okay, like there's a certain level of pretty privilege that comes with youth. And I know a lot of people are just like, oh my God, that's so vain. I was like, you guys raised us this way. You raised us this way. Like the way y'all treat people who y'all don't find attractive. Like I said, I've been on that side, and y'all do not treat us like we're humans. Like me, I know everybody on staff. Like at my job downtown, I know the janitor name, I know the FedEx guy's name, I know the post office name, I know everybody's name, I know the worker's name. They'll sit there and be surprised that I know their names, like, because you are a human being. I don't care your status. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much money I make. You're a human being. You deserve courtesy. And my courtesy that I was raised up with my parents was that you always say hello to everybody in the room, no matter who they are. And I feel like there's just this fear that, like, as you age, your value loosens. And when you've been so tied, when you've been so tied to this part of your life, like, you really do get attached to it. And that's why I feel like a lot of times when I feel like that's a lot of times when self-depreciation happens, like you start being like, okay, maybe I'm not that attractive. If I'm not attractive, what am I? And it's led people to have kids because they want a new value. It's led people to stay at jobs. It's led people to stay with people who they know they're not supposed to be with, because in their mind it's like, if I'm not this, I got to be something. They have to attach themselves. They have to identify with something else. So I can say from my perspective, I do feel like that is a very big thing of fear. And this another thing too is just that you have a fear that no one really cares about you, because we won't really see, like me, like, yes, I know my friends like love me down. I know everybody loves me now, family, whatever, but I won't really see if people really love me down till I turn 60, black don't cry, 50. I won't really know if people really love me down or not, because like I said, a lot of the motivation, at least in my head, is motivated by looks. So I'm just like, okay, if I stop serving looks, or if I, gain weight one day, like there is that fear of losing it all. So my overall review of my little pie chart, I really feel like the biggest takeaway from this is, I would say the biggest takeaway from this is the fact that there needs to be more compassion just in general. All right, between all of us. Like, I know this is at the end of the video, so if you're still staying here, still listening to me talk and ramble, really appreciate you. But there needs to be a compassion between all of us, because I've seen plenty of times where someone who's attractive, not saying that if you're not attractive, you don't deserve compassion, but someone who's attractive goes through an issue, or someone who's attractive gets de-lived, or they go to the upper room. I've seen heinous comments of, oh, well, at least they're attractive. Well, at least they're attractive, or at least they got to live a good life, or how could they want to go to the upper room by themselves and they have such a great life here being attractive. Like, at the end of the day, like, if your self-esteem is tied to your looks, you're walking on very, very dangerous ground, because anytime your looks can be taken away, anytime, you get a chipped tooth, or something like a sickness happens, or let's say, pregnancy, like I said, pregnancy is, you're rolling a die. Okay, you're rolling a die. Listen to that second part, that too. Like, there's just so many things that can be changed and in an instant. That's why I said, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't like celebrate your looks, but that should not be the only thing. I feel like it should be like, you hear my mind speaking, and then you look at me like, oh, actually, that too, like, they didn't say that, not where it's just like, okay, this person looks good, that's it. Like, that's boring, because like I said, like, after you're done, like, to me, I feel like your eyes can only be full with somebody attractive for like maybe about 20 minutes, maybe, and it's just like, okay, what else? Like, what else? Like, there's nothing else more to talk about. They don't have anything else going for them. So I don't know. I just feel like, in my perspective, I still to this day feel like we just got to start showing compassion to each other. And this is not to base, sympathy for the pretty. I'm not saying that, but I do want y'all to really understand, like, the dichotomy of how their brain works, and really know what they're going to, and just always be kind. So don't forget to subscribe, share. Let's get it.